Monster Hunter is a 2020 monster film written, directed, and produced by Paul W. S. Anderson, based on the video game series of the same name by Capcom. The film stars Milla Jovovich in her sixth outing together with Anderson, her husband. The other cast members include Tony Jaa, T.I., Megan Good, Diego Boneta, Josh Hellman, MC Jin, and Ron Perlman. The film follows Artemis, Jovovich, and her loyal soldiers when they are transported to a new world, where they engage in a battle for survival against enormous monsters with incredible powers. A film adaptation based on the series had been in conception since 2012 by director Paul W. S. Anderson. The film was formally announced by Capcom in October 2018, with production starting that month with Constantine Film. Principal photography on the film began on October 5, 2018 and was completed on December 19, 2018, in Cape Town, South Africa. Monster Hunter was released to theaters during the COVID-19 pandemic, by Sony Pictures releasing, excluding Germany, China, and Japan, opening in China on December 4, 2020, and in the United States on December 18, 2020. The film was a box office bomb, having only grossed $47.9 million worldwide against a production budget of $60 million and received mixed reviews, with praise for its action sequences, visual effects, and musical score, but criticism for its direction and editing. 5. It received a nomination at the 19th Visual Effects Society Awards, in the category Outstanding Effects Simulations in a Photoreal Feature. Plot. It is entirely possible that behind the perception of our senses, new worlds are hidden of which we are totally unaware. Opening caption. In the new world, humans struggle to survive against a wide variety of large and savage monsters. The hunter, a warrior trained to kill these powerful creatures, is separated from the admiral's crew when their ship is attacked by the Diablos, a massive horned monster that moves beneath the sands. In the old world, Earth, U.S. Army Ranger Captain Natalie Artemis and her United Nations security team search for a missing squad of soldiers in the desert. A sudden storm pulls them through a dimensional portal to the new world where they find the charred remains of the missing soldiers and their vehicles. As the Diablos approaches Artemis' team, the hunter, who is observing the group, fires a warning signal. The Diablos, impervious to bullets and grenades, attacks and kills 2 squad members. The survivors hide in a cave, where they are attacked by a pack of monstrous arachnid-like Nersillas. Artemis is injected with a paralyzing venom, and as the others try to save her, more Nersillas arrive and swarm them. Artemis wakes up in a Nersilla lair, finding her team dead or infected with Nersilla spawn. She escapes the lair by setting the pursuing monsters on fire. Above ground, Artemis runs into the hunter and, after fighting each other, they grudgingly agree to cooperate. She learns that the portals are created by the Sky Tower, a structure located across the desert. The hunter reveals they will need to kill the Diablos in order to cross the desert safely and reach the tower. Artemis learns how to fight using the hunter's unique blade weapons and helps him set a trap to kill the Diablos, after weakening it with Nersilla venom. The attack is successful, with Artemis delivering the final blow, but the hunter is badly wounded. Constructing a makeshift stretcher, she dutifully carries him across the desert. The pair reach an oasis populated with tortoise-like herbivorous dinosaurs known as apsaras. When a Rathalos, a fire-breathing wyvern, flies by and causes the apsaras to stampede, Artemis and the hunter are rescued by a group led by the admiral. He explains that the Sky Tower was built by the first civilization to travel between worlds, using the monsters to protect it. Artemis agrees to help kill the Rathalos so she can return home. In the ensuing battle, Artemis falls through the portal, returning to Earth where she is found by Captain Rourke's military search and rescue group. But the portal remains open, and the Rathalos emerges and begins wreaking havoc on Rourke's forces. Artemis is able to slow it down long enough for the hunter to slip through the portal and deliver the fatal shot. The Admiral approaches Artemis, just before the appearance of another flying monster, a dragon known as Gormagala. He notes that as long as the portal remains open, there will always be the threat that monsters will pass through to Earth. Artemis concludes that finding a way to take down the Sky Tower is now their primary objective. Palico, the Admiral's cat-like companion, arrives to help fight the Gormagala, while an ominous cloaked figure observes the battle from the top of the tower. Cast: Milla Jovovich as Natalie Artemis, a U.S. Army Ranger in a United Nations military team. 6. Tony Jaa as the Hunter, a skilled warrior that fights giant monsters. 7-8. Tip T.I. Harris as Lincoln 9. Megan Good as Dash. Diego Boneta as Marshall. Josh Hellman as Steeler. Jin Oyung as Axe. Hirana Yamazaki as Handler. Nanda Costa as Lee. Janik Schumann as Aiden. Ron Perlman as the Admiral, the chieftain of a group of hunters. 9. Nick Raisenti as Captain Rourke. Aaron Bielner as Palico. Production. Development. In 2012, Resident Evil director Paul W.S. Anderson was then rumored to be in talks to direct a film adaptation of the Monster Hunter franchise. Anderson stated he had discovered the Monster Hunter series on travels to Japan around 2008 and had become a fan of the series, and considered a film adaptation as a passion project. 11-12 Within a couple years from his introduction to the games, Anderson said he had started discussions with Capcom about securing the rights to make the film. 13. During the September 2016 Tokyo Game Show, Capcom producer Ryozo Tsujimoto stated that a live-action Monster Hunter film was in development within Hollywood. 14. A few months later, Anderson and producer Jeremy Bolt, both who helped to bring Capcom's Resident Evil game to a series of films, had obtained the rights from Capcom for the Monster Hunter adaptation after about 5 years of discussion. The two anticipate a series of Monster Hunter films. Anderson said he was drawn to the Monster Hunter property, not only because of the series' popularity, but also for the incredibly beautiful, immersive world they've created. Anderson had already penned out a script, which would involve an American being dragged into the parallel universe in which the Monster Hunter series is set, learning how to fight monsters, and then having to deal with the situation when monsters cross back into the real world and start attacking, such as a final climactic battle at Los Angeles International Airport. 15. At this stage of the script, the concept had been based on a young adult character from the real world called Lucas, who was being sought as the hero to drive back the monsters from the real world to the fantasy one. In this form, the script would have explained why certain legends in the real world seemed to align with the monsters from the fantasy world. As the script developed over the intervening years, Anderson moved away from the young adult concept as the genre had become overused in Hollywood, and instead had developed a script based on the premises set by Avatar and Raiders of the Lost Ark. 16. Anderson said that the film's storyline was primarily based on a crossover event in the game Metal Gear Solid: Peace Walker with Monster Hunter Freedom Unite in 2010, in which a military squad briefly faced monsters from the Monster Hunter series, with Milla Jovovich as Artemis and Tony Jaa as Hunter respectively replacing the video game roles of the characters Big Boss, Snake, and Trinia, stating that "I thought this was great imagery to juxtapose a man with a machine gun Snake against the creatures of Monster Hunter." 1. The film was formally announced in May 2018. 17. According to Anderson, the success of the most recent game of the series at the time, Monster Hunter World, which was developed by Capcom in early 2018 for a worldwide release rather than a limited Japanese one, led many film distributors to seek out potential for a Monster Hunter film only to discover he had already locked up the rights. 13. Casting. Milla Jovovich, Anderson's spouse and past lead in his Resident Evil films, was affirmed in the starring role as Captain Artemis with the announcement of the film. 17. Anderson said that he wanted the lead character to be from outside the Monster Hunter universe, as he wanted to introduce the world to the moviegoer in the same way he had experienced the games for the first time himself. 18. Additional characters from the Monster Hunter realm are based on those from the recent Monster Hunter World game. 18 On September 25, 2018, rapper T.I. and Ron Perlman were cast in the film, in which T.I. would play Link, a sniper, while Perlman would play Admiral, the leader of the Hunter's crew. 9 Tony Jaa was also cast in the film to play the male lead, the Hunter. 8 In October 2018, Diego Boneta joined the film to play a character as a communications specialist. 19 Anderson stated that while there are some novel characters in the game, reflecting on the series' custom character creator, the film would still be characters essential to the series, including the Handler and the Admiral. He also stated that they will not need to create any new monsters, as the series has enough variety that they will be able to pull from for the film. 11. Pre-production. Furthering on Anderson's appreciation of the game, he stated that all of the armor and weapons that the Hunters will wear will be based on the equipment from the game series, and will include at least one character that wears a mismatched set of armor, which reflects on the player's ability within the game to mix and match armor sets for beneficial results. Anderson wanted to use various settings in the film to match the variety in a game, though recognized that one would not see as much variety in the film as one would see in playing a Monster Hunter game for several hours. 20 Jovovich, who stated she was also a fan of the video game series, was able to select what weapons she wanted her character to be shown with, and experimented in-game to narrow her choice to the dual blades, both as effective weapons in-game and that I thought they'd look really beautiful in an action sequence. 21. The monsters in the film are further based on those in the game, including the series' signature monster the Rathalos. The game series director Kaname Fujioka and producer Ryozo Tsujimoto provided input into the film's depiction of the monsters. 22. The movie will also feature palicos, a sentient cat-like species that assist the hunters in the game series, and will include the Meowscular Chef, a palico introduced in Monster Hunter World that once served as the Admiral's own aide before becoming a chef. 23. Capcom helped to establish the movie's setting, taking canonically after the events of Monster Hunter World, in a new area of the Monster Hunter setting but incorporating facets from several of the games in the series. 16. Filming. Constantine Film produced the film, having planned to start production in late 2017 or early 2018-24 but later confirmed during the 2018 Cannes Film Festival that production would begin in September 2018 in and around Cape Town and South Africa, with an estimated $60 million budget. Some scenes were shot in Namibia, like Spitskop and Sesriem Canyon. 17 Special Effects Studio Mr. XVFX, which worked on the Resident Evil films, were also involved in the production. 17. Principal photography began on October 5, 2018, in Cape Town, South Africa. Milla Jovovich announced on Instagram that principal photography was completed on December 19, 2018. 25. Release. Marketing. A teaser for the film was first shown at the Shanghai International Film Festival in June 2019, along with the announcement that Toho and Tencent will oversee the film's distribution in Japan and China, respectively. 26. The studio spent just $1.3 million on television ads in the week leading up to the film's US release, compared to the $17 million Warner Bros. Spent promoting Wonder Woman 1984, with Deadline Hollywood stating likely Sony is holding back some of the minimal marketing dollars to spend this coming week. 27. Theatrical. Monster Hunter was released in the United States on December 18, 2020. 28. The film was originally scheduled to be released on September 4, 2020-29 but was delayed to April 23, 2021-30 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, before being moved up to December 30th, then finally the Christmas date. 31. Sony yet again altered the film's release date in the United States in early December after the film's troublesome release in China, moving its release to December 18, 2020. 32. The film was theatrically released in Japan by Toho Toa on March 26, 2021. 33. Home media. The film was released by Sony Pictures Home Entertainment on digital on February 16, 2021, with the Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, and DVD released on March 2, 2021. 34. Reception. Box office. As of September 24, 2024, Monster Hunter has grossed $15.2 million in the United States and Canada, $35 and $32.7 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $47.9 million. 36. The film released alongside Fatale, and was projected to gross around $3 million in its opening weekend. 37. It grossed $800,000 on its first day of release in the United States and Canada, opening in second behind Hold Over the Croods, A New Age. 38. It went on to debut to $2.2 million from 1,738 theaters, lower than expected but still topping the box office and dethroning A New Age. 27. Following the weekend, Variety wrote that the film looks to lose money in its theatrical run. 39. In the film's second weekend it fell 48.9%, grossing $1.1 million, then made $1.3 million in its third weekend, finishing fourth both times. 40-41. The film debuted to $2.7 million from 5 countries in its opening weekend. It made $5.3 million from China before being pulled from theaters, although the total was not added to the global total. 42. It made $1.3 million over its second weekend, remaining in first place in Taiwan, $610,000, and Saudi Arabia, $310,000. 43. Critical response. The Indian Express described the critical response as mixed, 44, while Game Rant called it negative. 45. Screen Rant reported a mixed to negative response, with praise for its action sequences and visual effects but criticism of film's oversaturated genre trappings as well as its direction and editing. 5. On review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, 44% of critics have given the film a positive review, with an average rating of 4.9/10. The website's critics' consensus reads, "Monster Hunter is mostly a mindless blur of action, held together by the slenderest threads of dialogue and plot, and exactly what many viewers will be looking for." 46. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 47 out of 100 based on reviews from 22 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 47 audiences polled by PostTrack gave the film 63%, with 41% saying they would definitely recommend it. 27. Peter DeBrugge of Variety wrote, "There will be critics who can tell you who these characters are, or what's up with the new world where monsters live, or why those of us in the old world should be worried about them, but that information is not presented in this visually interesting but narratively anemic motion picture, nor the press notes, for that matter, so please accept my apologies in advance. This review will likely be about as coherent as the film itself." 3. David Ehrlich of IndieWire gave the film a grade of D and said, "Series fans will feel cheated by such a chintzy and incurious take on something they love, while the rest of us will be left wondering how the source material earned itself any fans in the first place." 48. Chinese controversy. Just after the Chinese release on December 4, 2020, the film caused an uproar on Chinese social media because of a scene in which Jin's character jokingly asks, "Look at my knees," and to the question "What kind of knees are these?" he replies, "Chi-knees." Chinese viewers interpreted this as a reference to the racist playground chant "Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees," and therefore as an insult to Chinese people. 49. The film was removed from circulation, and Chinese authorities censored references to it online. Tencent had reportedly prepared modified versions of the films omitting the line "but even these showings were pulled." 50. The reaction to the film also caused Chinese users to review Bomb Monster Hunter World in reference to the lines. 51. Constantine Film apologized for the dialogue and stated they will remove the dialogue from the film before it is re-released. 52 Jin said that for his character, the line was to proudly proclaim he is a Chinese soldier, not just his knees, but his arms, his head, his heart. 49 Anderson stated that it was never our intention to send a message of discrimination or disrespect to anyone. To the contrary, at its heart our movie is about unity, and that the line had been removed from all international versions of the film prior to their releases. 49. Accolades. It received a nomination at the 19th Visual Effects Society Awards, in the category Outstanding Effects Simulations in a Photoreal Feature. 53. Future. In November 2020, Paul W. S. Anderson talked about a possible sequel, saying there are hundreds of monsters in the game. I can only use 5 or 6 of them in the movie. So it's a big, fun world that I think we've only just started to scratch the surface of. Milla Jovovich added to the discussion, saying definitely, we would love to make another one. Hopefully, people are going to love it because I know Paul W. S. Anderson would love to make a sequel. I mean, he's already writing something. Milla Bogdanovna Jovovich AB, born December 17, 1975, known professionally as Milla Jovovich, /Miljob Milla Jovovich, is an American actress, singer, and former model. To her starring roles in numerous science fiction and action films led the music channel VH1 to deem her the reigning queen of kick butt in 2006. In 2004, Forbes determined that she was the highest paid model in the world. Born in Kiev and raised in Los Angeles, Jovovich began modeling when Ritz photographed her for the cover of the Italian magazine Lei in 1987. Richard Avedon featured her in Revlon's Most Unforgettable Women in the World advertisements. 3. In 1988, she made her screen debut in the television film The Night Train to Kathmandu and appeared in her first feature film, To Moon Junction. Jovovich gained attention for her role in the 1991 romance film Return to the Blue Lagoon. She was considered to have a breakthrough with her role in the 1997 French science fiction action film The Fifth Element, written and directed by Luc Besson. Jovovich and Besson married that year but soon divorced. She starred as Joan of Arc in Besson's The Messenger, The Story of Joan of Arc, 1999. From 2002 to 2017, she portrayed Alice in the action horror film franchise Resident Evil, which became the highest-grossing film series to be based on video games. Jovovich released her debut album, The Divine Comedy, in 1994, and a follow-up, The People Tree Sessions, in 1998. She continues to release demos for other songs on her official website and frequently contributes to film soundtracks. In 2003, she co-created the clothing line Jovovich, Hawk, which ran until 2008, with model Carmen Hawk. Early life and family. Milla Bogdanovna Jovovich was born on December 17, 1975, in Kiev, the capital of the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic of the Soviet Union. 4. She is the daughter of Galina, née Loginova, a Russian actress, and Bogdan Jovovich, a Serbian doctor originally from Montenegro. 5. 6. 7. Galina's parents were from Tula. 8. Jovovich spent most of her early childhood in Moscow, Galina's native city. Jovovich has stated that she was born in Ukraine pretty much by accident. 9. While she has no memories of her early years there. 10. However, Jovovich remembers a lot about her life in Russia. 11. In 1980, the family moved to London, England 9 and then to Sacramento, California, United States 5 before settling in Los Angeles 7 months later. Galina and Bogdan divorced soon after their arrival. In 1988, Bogdan had a relationship with an Argentine woman, with whom he had a son. 12-13 Due to the divorce of Galina and Bogdan years before, Jovovich saw little of her half-brother. 14. In Los Angeles, Galina tried to get acting jobs but found little success because of language barriers. She eventually resorted to cleaning houses to earn money. Galina and Bogdan both served as cooks and housekeepers. 9 for filmmaker Brian De Palma. 15 Bogdan was convicted and imprisoned for participating in the largest health insurance fraud ever investigated. He was given a 20-year sentence in 1994-16-17 but was released in 1999. 18 Jovovich has stated, "Prison was good for him. He's become a much better person. It gave him a chance to stop and think." 19. Jovovich attended public schools in Los Angeles, becoming fluent in English in 3 months. 20. She was teased by classmates for coming from the Soviet Union. She has stated, "I was called a commie and a Russian spy. I was never accepted into the crowd." 21. At the age of 12, Jovovich left the 7th grade to focus on modeling 9, which she had started at the age of 9. 22. According to Jovovich, she was rebellious during her early teens, engaging in drug use, shopping mall vandalism, and credit card fraud. 19. She became a naturalized U.S. citizen in 1994. 23. Career. Early roles and hiatus, 1985 to 1996. Galina had raised her to be a movie star. 19. In 1985, Galina enrolled Jovovich in acting classes. When her acting jobs picked up, Jovovich started attending school for young actors rather than regular school. 5/24/25. In 1988, Jovovich appeared in her debut professional film role as Samantha de Longpre in the romantic thriller 2 Moon Junction. Later that year, she appeared in the made-for-television film as Lily MacLeod in The Night Train to Kathmandu. She had several roles in television series, including Paradise, 1988, Married, with Children, 1989, and Parker Lewis Can't Lose, 1990. At the age of 15, Jovovich was cast as the lead in Return to the Blue Lagoon, 1991, opposite Brian Krause. Given her age and beauty, she was often compared to Brooke Shields, another child model turned actress, who had starred in The Blue Lagoon, 1980. 26. The role was controversial as, like Shields, Jovovich appeared nude in the film. 21. Jovovich was nominated for Best Young Actress starring in a Motion Picture at the 1991 Young Artist Awards, and Worst New Star at the 1991 Golden Raspberry Awards. In 1992, Jovovich co-starred with Christian Slater in the comedy Cuffs. Later that year, she portrayed Mildred Harris in the Charlie Chaplin biographical film Chaplin. In 1993, she acted in Richard Linklater's satiric film Dazed and Confused. She played Michelle Burrows, the on-screen girlfriend to Pickford, played by her then-boyfriend Sean Andrews. Strongly featured in promotions for the film, Jovovich was upset to find her role much reduced in the released film. 26. Discouraged, she took a hiatus from acting roles. 27. Moving to Europe. Breakthrough, 1997 to 2001. Jovovich attended the 2000 Cannes Film Festival. Jovovich returned to acting in 1997 with a lead role in the French science fiction action film The Fifth Element, alongside Bruce Willis and Gary Oldman. This was written and directed by Luc Besson. She portrayed Lilo, an alien who helps to save the planet. Jovovich said she worked like hell, no band practice, no clubs, no pot, nothing. 28. To acquire the role and impress Besson, Jovovich co-created and mastered an alien fictional language of over 400 words for her role. 26. She wore a costume that came to be known as the Ace Bandage costume. The bodysuit designed by Jean-Paul Gaultier was made of medical bandages. 26. 29. The Fifth Element was selected as the opening film for the 1997 Cannes Film Festival, and its worldwide box office gross was over $263 million, more than 3 times its budget of $80 million. 30. The Fifth Element was often praised for its visual style. Critic James Berardinelli wrote, "Jovovich makes an impression, although her effectiveness has little to do with acting and less to do with dialogue." 31. Jovovich was nominated for Favorite Female Newcomer at the Blockbuster Entertainment Awards and Best Fight at the MTV Movie Awards. The film inspired a video game and a planned Lilu action figure, but the figure was never released due to licensing problems. 32 In a 2003 interview, Jovovich said Lilu was her favorite role. 33. In 1998, Jovovich appeared in Spike Lee's drama He Got Game, as abused prostitute Dakota Burns. She acted with Denzel Washington and Ray Allen. In 1999, she appeared in the music video for the song If You Can't Say No by Lenny Kravitz. That year she returned to the action genre, playing the title role in The Messenger, the story of Joan of Arc, under direction of Luc Besson. She cut her hair short and wore armor in several extensive battle scenes. Jovovich received generally good reviews for her performance. The historical drama did moderately well at the box office, gaining $66 million worldwide. 34 In 2000, Jovovich appeared as the troubled Eloise in The $1 Million Hotel, a film based on a concept story by Bono of the band U2 and Nicholas Klein. Directed by Wim Wenders, Jovovich starred alongside Jeremy Davies and Mel Gibson. She provided vocals on the film's soundtrack. That year she also played bar owner Lucia, in the British Western film The Claim, 2000. This was followed by a supporting role as the evil Katinka in the comedy Zoolander, 2001. International success, 2002 to 2009. Jovovich at the 2002 Cannes Film Festival. In 2002, Jovovich starred in the horror action film Resident Evil, released in the United States on March 15, 2002, and based on the Capcom video game series of the same name. She portrayed Alice, the film's heroine, who fights a legion of zombies created by the Umbrella Corporation. Jovovich had accepted the role because she and her brother Marco had been fans of the video game franchise. 35 Jovovich had trained in karate, kickboxing, and combat training, and had performed all the stunts required in the film, except for a scene that would involve her jumping to a cement platform, which her management deemed too dangerous. 36-37 The film was commercially successful, grossing $17 million on its opening weekend. It eventually made $40 million domestically and $102 million worldwide. 38 Later, she portrayed the manipulative gang wife Erin in No Good Deed, 2002, Nadine in the romantic comedy You Stupid Man, 2002, punk rocker Fanny, in Dummy, 2003, and provided a guest voice on the television series King of the Hill. The role of Fangara in Dummy allowed Jovovich to act in film with Oscar-winning Adrian Brody, who was a friend prior to filming. Jovovich found it easy to identify with this role because she felt Fangara possessed similar qualities to the actress's own life. 33. In 2004, Jovovich reprised the role of Alice in the sequel to Resident Evil, Apocalypse. The role required her to do fight training for 3 hours a day. 33 In addition to the 3 months prior to filming in which she had gun training, martial arts, everything. 39 Apocalypse received even more negative reactions from the critics than the first film, but it was an even greater commercial success, ranking number 1 at the box office. Following the release of the film, Jovovich was unhappy with the critical results and director Alexander Witt's effort. 40 She noted during an interview that year that her large action films take care of the commercial part of her career, while she acts in independent little films that never come out to appease her artistic side, and it's a good balance. 33 The following year, she was featured in Gore Vidal's faux trailer remake of Caligula, as Drusilla. In 2006, Jovovich's film, the science fiction/action thriller Ultraviolet, was released on March 3. She played the title role of Violet Song Ja Sheriff, a role that also involved heavily choreographed fight sequences. It was not screened for critics, but when reviewed, it was critically panned. 41 And failed at the box office, grossing $31 million worldwide. 42 Also in 2006, Jovovich starred in the independent thriller .45, with Scottish actor Angus MacFadyen. In 2007, Jovovich reprised her role as Alice in Resident Evil, Extinction, the third of the Resident Evil series. The film grossed an estimated $24 million on its opening weekend, topping the box office gross for that week. 43-44 in 2009, Jovovich starred in David Twohy's A Perfect Getaway with Kiele Sanchez, Timothy Olyphant, and Steve Zahn. The film is a thriller about a newlywed couple, Milla and Zahn, on their honeymoon in Hawaii. Reviews for the film were mostly positive, while The Hollywood Reporter felt that Jovovich gave a fairly subtle performance. 45 The Globe and Mail noted that she and Kiele Sanchez managed to bring some dramatic tension to the frightened girlfriend moments. 46 A Perfect Getaway garnered modest box office returns. 47 Jovovich starred in the science fiction thriller The Fourth Kind. 48 as a psychologist in Alaska who uses hypnosis to uncover memories from her patients of alien abduction. While the film was largely panned by critics, it made $47.71 million in cinemas worldwide. 49 Also in 2009, Jovovich posed nude in a black and white photo shoot for the Purple fashion magazine. 50. Recent works, 2010, present. Jovovich attended the 2012 WonderCon promoting Resident Evil, Retribution. In 2010, Jovovich returned as Alice 51 in the fourth movie of the Resident Evil series, Afterlife, which was directed by her husband, Paul W.S. Anderson 52, and portrayed the mother of a promiscuous and troubled high school student in the independent coming-of-age dramedy Dirty Girl, which premiered at the Toronto Film Festival, opposite Juno Temple, William H. Macy, Mary Steenburgen, and Tim McGraw. In its review for the latter film, The Hollywood Reporter found Jovovich to be terrific in what it described as a sweet and sassy period comedy with a Juno sensibility and the soul of a Little Miss Sunshine. 53-54 Jovovich played the wife of a jailed arsonist in Stone, a psychological thriller co-starring Robert De Niro and Edward Norton. Filming began in May 2009 at the recently closed Southern Michigan Correctional Facility in Jackson, Michigan. 55 The film was released in late 2010 to a mixed response. 56 Nevertheless, the AV Club noted that Jovovich was particularly good as a breathy femme fatale who seduces De Niro with a mere change in inflection. 57. Jovovich starred in Paul W.S. Anderson's romantic action-adventure film The Three Musketeers, as Milady de Winter, in 2011, alongside Matthew McFadyen, Logan Lerman, Ray Stevenson, Luke Evans, Orlando Bloom, and Christoph Waltz. After the lackluster response for Musketeers, Jovovich criticized Summit Entertainment for not promoting the film properly as a family film in the United States. Deadline Hollywood reported that Summit responded, "She doesn't know what she's talking about and we don't know where she's coming from." 58. She would next headline the little-seen psychological thriller Faces in the Crowd. 59 which was written and directed by Julian Magnat. 60 In it, she plays the survivor of a serial killer's attack that leaves her suffering from a condition called prosopagnosia, which renders her unable to recognize faces. 61 Sight and Sound remarked that the film suffered from a central performance not quite strong enough to win Jovovich recognition as a dramatic actress. 62-63 Also in 2011, Jovovich appeared as a Ukrainian con artist in Famke Janssen's directorial debut film Bringing Up Bobby, alongside Marcia Cross, and starred in the romantic comedy Lucky Trouble, which was her Russian-language film debut. Jovovich at the 2016 Cannes Film Festival. Jovovich returned to her role as Alice in the fifth installment of Resident Evil for Resident Evil, Retribution, 2012. 64 She played an ambitious woman and the second wife of the leader of a motorcycle club in 2014 Cymbeline, a film version of the eponymous play by William Shakespeare, and in 2015 Survivor, she took on the role of a diplomatic security service/foreign service officer at the U.S. Embassy in London. Both films received a video-on-demand release in North America, despite theatrical runs abroad. 65, 66, 67, 68 Jovovich made a cameo appearance reprising the role of villain Katinka in 2016's Zoolander 2. 69 Resident Evil, The Final Chapter, 2016, the sixth and final film of the Resident Evil franchise. 70 starred Jovovich as Alice as she continues her vengeance against Umbrella for the death of her allies and the catastrophe they have caused. Time Out in its review for the film noted, while the franchise has slackened into dependable dumb post-apocalyptic thrills, star Milla Jovovich has only gotten better, seasoning her long-legged athleticism with a commanding stare. 71 The Final Chapter was the highest-grossing film in the franchise, earning over $312 million worldwide. 72 In Shock and Awe, 2017, Jovovich played the wife of an investigator working on the reasons behind the Bush administration's 2003 invasion of Iraq, starring opposite Woody Harrelson and Tommy Lee Jones. 73-74 In Future World, 2018, she obtained the role of a drug lord, alongside James Franco, who also directed the film. While reviewers felt Jovovich was underused in Shock and Awe, 75 Future World holds a 0% approval rating on review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, based on 9 reviews. 76 Jovovich starred as the administrator of an island-bound reform school in the fantasy film Paradise Hills, 2019, the directorial debut of Alice Waddington. She also played the evil Vivian Nemue, the Blood Queen in the Hellboy reboot movie, released in 2019. 77. Jovovich is the co-founder and owner of the production company Creature Entertainment. 78-79. Other endeavors. Music. Jovovich in 2019. Jovovich had begun working on a music album as early as 1988, when she was signed by SBK Records after the company heard a demo she recorded. 80 In August 1990, she asserted in an interview that the then forthcoming album would be a mix between Kate Bush, Sinead O'Connor, This Mortal Coil, and the Cocteau Twins. 81. After it was initially presented by SBK strictly as a pop album, Jovovich protested, insisting on using her personal poetry for lyrics and recording her own instrumental material. 80 Jovovich had written the lyrics and composed the music of the songs when she was 15, except a cover of a Ukrainian folk song, In a Glade. In April 1994, billed under her first name, she released The Divine Comedy, a title that was a reference to the epic poem by Dante Alighieri of the same name. Jovovich had chosen the title after seeing Russian artist Alexis Steele's proposed cover artwork sketch for the then untitled album. Jovovich found that the sketch had all the struggle that I'm singing about. It is The Divine Comedy. 80. The Divine Comedy was well received by critics, and features pop-infused traditional Ukrainian folk songs that led to comparisons with Tori Amos and Kate Bush. 15 John McAuley of Rolling Stone called the album remarkable, strikingly mature and rich in invention, and as featuring angst-laced poetry with vivid melodies and arrangements that find a common spirit in synth pop, European folk, and psychedelic dream rock. 82. Jovovich released the track The Gentleman Who Fell, Before the Court, with an accompanying music video, as the sole single from the album. The music video was originally directed by Lisa Bonet and featured Harry Dean Stanton, but Jovovich, unsatisfied with the results, decided to film another video. The second video for The Gentleman Who Fell, a homage to Maya Deren, was directed by Kate Garner and Paul Archard and was subsequently played on MTV. Jovovich toured the United States and Canada during most of 1994 to promote the album, opening for Toad the Wet Sprocket, The Philosopher Kings, and Crash Test Dummies, as well as playing smaller acoustic sets. Jovovich had opted to perform in smaller and more intimate settings, turning down a musical appearance on Saturday Night Live. Jovovich has also been collaborating musically with longtime friend and musician Chris Brenner, who co-wrote with her on the Divine Comedy album and who was the musical coordinator for the supporting tour. She and Brenner met in 1993 and have since worked together on several ventures. 83 Following the Divine Comedy, she expressed interest in releasing a second album, having had 10 songs ready for a future recording that was intended for a mid-1996 release. 2122. In May 1999, Jovovich, along with Chris Brenner, formed an experimental band called Plastic Has Memory, in which she wrote and composed the songs, sang, and played electric guitar. 84. The band was much heavier and darker than the vaguely Ukrainian folk-sounding elements of her first album, and it had a similar sound to a grunge and trip-hop Portishead. 85. Plastic Has Memory played about a dozen shows in Los Angeles and New York City for a potential Virgin Records album release. 86. One of which Mick Jagger had attended. 87. But though Plastic Has Memory was featured on Hollywood Goes Wild, a benefit celebrity compilation album, the group never formally released any albums, and had disbanded as of 2021. 88. Jovovich has contributed tracks to soundtracks of several of her own films, including The $1 Million Hotel, 2000, and Dummy, 2002, and for others films such as Underworld, 2003, produced by musician Danny Lohner, who was the bass player in Nine Inch Nails for many years. Her song The Gentleman Who Fell is on the Rules of Attraction soundtrack of 2002. In 2001, Jovovich joined many celebrities whose vocals were featured in a cover of We Are Family to raise money for the American Red Cross. She has appeared as guest vocalist on the song Former Lover on Deepak Chopra's album, A Gift of Love 2, Oceans of Ecstasy, 2002, and Legion of Boom, 2004, by The Crystal Method. Beginning in 2003, Jovovich worked with musician Maynard James Keenan, of Tool, and A Perfect Circle, on his industrial side project Pussifer. 89. Contributing vocals to the track Rev 22:20, which was featured on various film soundtracks in its original or remixed form. 90. In January 2009, she collaborated with Maynard and Danny Lohner on the Pussifer track called The Mission. She performed the song at the first live Pussifer performance on February 13, 2009, in Las Vegas, Nevada. Danny Lohner, and longtime music collaborator Chris Brenner record and perform with Jovovich, who has made several highly praised appearances. Citation needed. A new single called Electric Sky was released on May 18, 2012 91, and presented at the Life Ball. In 2017, she collaborated in the single Attention of Ernest Chelyabin. Jovovich writes songs which she refers to as demos, freely downloadable from her website with license to remix the tracks and reserved right to sell and issue them. 92. Modeling. Jovovich's early work with Herb Ritts, Richard Avedon, and Peter Lindbergh led to her success in advertising, bringing the young model contracts. Since then, she has been featured on more than 100 magazine covers, including Vogue, Cosmopolitan, Elle, Glamour, Marie Claire, Harper's Bazaar, and GQ. 93. 94. 95. She has walked for Balmain, Versace, Fendi, Trussardi, Alessandro Dell'Acqua, Costume National, Iceberg, Anna Sui, Dries Van Noten, Andy Muhlmeister, Marc Jacobs, Miu Miu, Salvatore Ferragamo, Missoni, Blue Marine, Jill Sander, and Jean-Paul Gaultier. She has been part of campaigns for Banana Republic, Christian Dior, Jimmy Choo, Prada, Isabel Marant, Celine, Guess, Chanel, Tommy Hilfiger, Tiffany & Co., Roberto Cavalli, Damiani, Donna Karan, Gap, Versace, Calvin Klein, DKNY, Coach, Giorgio Armani, H&M, and Revlon. Since 1998, Jovovich has been an international spokesmodel for L'Oréal Cosmetics. She was referred to in a minor cameo in Bret Easton Ellis's novel Glamorama, a satire of society's obsession with celebrities and beauty. 96. Jovovich was said to be designer Miuccia Prada's muse in 2002. 97. A 2003 article claimed she was Gianni Versace's favorite supermodel. 78. In 2004, Jovovich topped Forbes magazine's richest supermodels of the world list, earning a reported $10.50 million. 98. And in 2006, Jovovich was picked up by Mango, a Spanish clothing line, as their new spokesmodel and is featured in their advertising campaigns. 99 She is in advertisements for Itro. She has said that modeling was never a priority. 100 And that the money she earns enables her to be selective about the creative decisions she makes. 78. In 2012, Jovovich was hired as the new face of a global advertising campaign for wristwatch and jewelry retailer Jacob & Co. 101 In 2018, Jovovich became the face of a global advertising campaign for Balmac. 102. In 2019, Jovovich joined more than 100 models who signed a petition to help protect Victoria's Secret models against sexual misconduct. 103. Fashion design. Jovovich and fellow model Carmen Hawk launched a line of clothing called Jovovich Hawk in 2003. The pair opened a showroom in New York City's Greenwich Village on September 13, 2005. All of the dresses for Jovovich Hawk line were designed by herself and her partner Carmen Hawk. The atelier is based in Los Angeles, but pieces were at Fred Segal in Los Angeles, Harvey Nichols, and over 50 stores around the world. Vogue praised the line for its girl-about-town cult status most designers spend years trying to achieve. 104 In November 2006, the Council of Fashion Designers of America, CFDA, and US Vogue nominated Jovovich Hawk for the CFDA/Vogue Fashion Fund Award. Jovovich Hawk was nominated as a finalist, although Du Chung took the top prize. 105 In 2007, Jovovich and Hawk designed the costume for Jovovich's character Alice in Resident Evil: Extinction. Alice's shorts are a variation on the Alice Star shorts from the Spring 2007 collection. 106 Later, Jovovich Hawk signed a deal to design a diffusion collection for Target's Go International campaign, following in the footsteps of Luella, Paul and Joe, and Proenza Scoullar. 107 In late 2008, Jovovich and Hawk mutually agreed to end the business due to increased demands on their time. Jovovich explained, "I'm an artist. I'm not someone who can deal with shipping rates and taxes." 108. Public image. Milla Jovovich and Ali Larter promoted Resident Evil: Afterlife at the 2010 San Diego Comic-Con. Jovovich has been noted for her careers as a model, singer, and actress. Music channel VH1 has referred to her as the reigning queen of kick butt for her roles in various sci-fi and action films. 109 And Rebecca Flint Marks of AllMovie said that despite the negative critical response for the Resident Evil films, the franchise has turned Jovovich into an A-list action star. 110 Her action roles have given her a geek 111 following, for which MTV said she was every geek's dream girl. 111 112 In 2004, Jovovich was ranked number 69 on Maxim magazine's Top 100 Hot List, 113 ranked number 82 in 2005 and ranked number 21 in 2010. 114 Maxim also named her number 11 on their list of hottest nerd crushes. 115 In 2008, she was ranked number 90 on Ask Men's Top 99 Women of 2008 list. 116 In 2011, Jovovich attended and sang at the birthday celebration of Mikhail Gorbachev. She gave a speech thanking Gorbachev, saying that when she and her family left the Soviet Union in 1980, they were sure that they would never see their relatives again, but they have been reunited. 117. Personal life. Relationships. Jovovich married on-screen boyfriend Sean Andrews in 1992 while filming Dazed and Confused. Andrews was 21 and Jovovich was 16. The marriage was annulled by her mother 2 months later. 118 Shortly after the annulment, Jovovich moved to Europe with her friend and musician Chris Brenner, where she met and lived with her new boyfriend, ex-Jamiroquai bassist Stuart Zender, in London from May 1994 to October 1995. 119 She married the Fifth Element director Luc Besson in 1997 in Las Vegas, where they went skydiving directly after the ceremony. They divorced in 1999. 78 In 2000, she briefly dated Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist John Frusciante, saying she fell in love with him after hearing his album Neanderthals and Usually Just a T-shirt 6 years earlier. 120 Between 1998 and 2001, she befriended the young poet and musician Anno Birkin, as mutual inspiration behind many of their compositions. Jovovich became romantically involved with Birkin just before his death in a car accident on November 8, 2001. 26. After starring in Resident Evil, 2002, Jovovich dated its director Paul W.S. Anderson, who proposed to her in 2003. The two were engaged on and off for 4 years before becoming a couple again early in 2007. 121 122 They married on August 22, 2009. Citation needed On November 3, 2007, Jovovich gave birth to their first child, daughter Ever Anderson 123 at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, California. 124 Their second child, a daughter, was born on April 1, 2015, also at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. 125 In 2019, Jovovich revealed she was pregnant with her third daughter after miscarrying 2 years prior. 126 She gave birth to their third daughter on February 2, 2020. 127 Jovovich resides in Los Angeles and New York City. 128. Lifestyle. She speaks fluent English and Russian 83 129 and some French 130 and Serbian. 5 131 She was brought up in a Russian household 132 and referred to the role of Russian culture in her life when she stated in 2005. I have a Russian mother, she was a famous actress in the USSR, Galina Loginova. And the first books, which I read, were in Russian. I was raised in the atmosphere of the Russian classical theater school. The art, built on the system of Stanislavski, that's the most realistic art. And the modern cinema stands on the same principle. A Russian person wants to find the truth. This is the base of the Russian culture. I never forget it, especially since I have Russian roots. 133. When asked if she still feels Russian after having left Russia at a young age, Jovovich replied, "Definitely. I still speak Russian. I speak it with my daughter. I read her Russian stories and poems. My roots are very important, they make me who I am." 11 Speaking about her early years, Milla noted the importance of education in her life. My mom raised me in the traditions of her country. For example, I never spent hours sitting before a TV and always read a lot. And I believe that education, intellect, and intelligence are a huge part of the beauty of Russian women. 134. Jovovich has advocated the legalization of cannabis and appeared in a spread and on the cover for High Times. 97 In an article published in 1994, she said that her only vices were cigarettes and cannabis. 83 She practices yoga and meditates often to live a healthy lifestyle. Unaffiliated with any specific religion, she prays and considers herself a spiritual person. 40 Jovovich enjoys playing the guitar and writing poems and lyrics for songs. Tachikorn Uram 3, born 1976 1, Thai, RTGS, Thachakon Uram, pronounced TA with a QT. TA with Macron.konj.ram, formerly Phenom Uram, Thai, PA with Macron.namj.ram, better known internationally as Tony Jaa and in Thailand as Jaa Phenom, Thai, RTGS, Cha Phenom, TA with Macron. PA with Macron.nam, is a Thai martial artist, actor, action choreographer, stuntman, and director. Known for his explosive martial arts stunt work, Jaa had his breakthrough in 2003 with Ong Bak, which earned him international recognition and spawned 2 sequels. Jaa began training in Muay Thai at age 10, and fought professionally as a Muay Thai fighter when he was discovered by filmmaker Punarita Krayai. He worked as a stuntman for Muay Thai stunt for 14 years, before making the transition to acting. His first lead role was as Ting in Ong Bak, 2003, which earned him a Star Entertainment Award. He went on to star in the prequels Ong Bak 2, 2008, and Ong Bak 3, 2010, both of which he directed. In 2005, he portrayed Cam in Tom Yum Goong, a role he reprised in the sequel, Tom Yum Goong 2, 2013. Furious 7, 2015, marked his first English-speaking role, and SPL 2, A Time for Consequences, 2015, marked his Hong Kong debut. His other notable films include XXX, Return of Xander Cage, Paradox, both 2017, Master Z, Ip Man Legacy, 2018, Triple Threat, 2019, and Detective Chinatown 3, 2021. 5. JAA's films have grossed over $2.7 billion worldwide. 6. Widely considered one of the greatest martial arts stars in the history of cinema, 7. JAA is credited with helping establish the Thai action genre worldwide and popularizing the Thai combat systems of Muay Thai, Muay Baran, and Muay Kache San, a fighting style JAA and Ridikrai developed in 2005. 8, 9, 10. Early life. JAA was born on February 5, 1976 and raised in a rural area in Surin Province Turin Saipech and Thong Di Yiram. 11. In his youth, he watched films by Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan at temple fairs, which inspired him to learn martial arts. He practiced the techniques in his father's rice paddy. Citation needed. What they Lee and Chan did was so beautiful, so heroic that I wanted to do it too, JAA told Time in a 2004 interview. I practiced until I could do the move exactly as I had seen the masters do it. 12, 13. JAA was also inspired by Jet Li and Donnie Yen. 14. JAA began training in Muay Thai at his local temple at 10 years old. According to JAA, he fought professionally as a Muay Thai fighter when filmmaker Punna Ridikrai saw him and asked him if he would like to do stunts in one of his films. 15. Punna had instructed JAA to attend Mahasarakam College of Physical Education in Mahasarakam province, from which he graduated with a bachelor's degree. 16, 17, 18. His early martial arts experience included Taekwondo, Muay Thai, Muay Baran, and Krabi Krabang, with an emphasis on gymnastics and track and field. 19, 20. His films have showcased various other martial arts styles, such as Kung Fu, Judo, Aikido, Silat, and Jiu-Jitsu. 21. Career. Stunt work. Tony JAA initially worked as a stuntman for Muay Thai stunt for 14 years, appearing in many of Ridikrai's films. He doubled for Sammo Hung when the martial arts movie actor made a commercial for an energy drink that required him to grasp an elephant's tusks and somersault onto the elephant's back. 22. He was also a stunt double in the Thai television series In Si Daeng, Red Eagle. 23. 2003 to 2008, international success. JAA in 2006. Together, Punna and JAA developed an interest in Muay Baran, the predecessor of Muay Thai, and worked and trained for 4 years at the art with the intention of developing a film about it. Eventually they were able to put together a short film showing what JAA could do with the help of instructor Grandmaster Mark Harris. One of the people they showed it to was producer-director Prakya Pinkaua. Citation needed. This led to Ong Bak in 2003, JAA's breakout role as a leading man. JAA did all the stunts without mechanical assistance or computer-generated effects, and it showcased his style of extreme acrobatics and speedy, dance-like moves. Injuries suffered in the filming included a ligament injury and a sprained ankle. One scene in the film involved fighting with another actor while his own trousers were on fire. I actually got burned, he said in a 2005 interview. I really had to concentrate because once my pants were on fire the flames spread upwards very fast and burnt my eyebrows, my eyelashes, and my nose. Then we had to do a couple more takes to get it right. 24. His second major movie was Tom Yum Goong, The Protector in the US, named after Tom Yum soup, which included a style of Muay Thai that imitates elephants. In August 2006, he was in New York to promote the US release of The Protector, including an appearance at the Museum of the Moving Image. 25. By mid-2000s, dubbed versions of JAA's films gained international recognition through theatrical releases, television broadcasts, and on-demand platforms. His films were noted to be innovative productions featuring fast-paced martial arts choreography and stunts. It established him as a global action icon. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Sahamonkel Film International advertised that Tony Jaa's third film would be called Sword or Dab Adamaz, about the art of Tai 2 sword fighting, Dab Songmu, with a script by Purpose Consalinant. 32. But due to a falling out between Prakya and Jaa, which neither has publicly commented on, Sword was cancelled. 33. In March 2006, it was reported that there would be a sequel to Ong Bak titled Ong Bak 2. Directed by and starring Jaa, it was released in December 2008. 33, 34, 35, 36. Jaa's films captured the attention of his hero, Jackie Chan, who asked director Brett Ratner to cast Jaa in Rush Hour 3. I gave the director videos of Jaa because I think he is the most well-rounded of all action stars, Chan told the Associated Press. 37. The director liked him a lot, Chan said. 37. However, Jaa mentioned that he is unable to participate in the film because of scheduling conflicts with Ong Bak 2. 37. 38. While Jaa and Amajalang were working on Ong Bak 2, director Prakya Pinkayu and action choreographer Punnarithikrai were working on Chocolate, starring a female martial artist, Nichari Vismastananda, and released February 6, 2008. 33. Jaa had been cast in a small role in a third installment of the King Narizuan film series directed by Chitrika Mukul, although the film was ultimately cancelled. Ong Bak 3 was released in 2010 and provides a conclusion to this franchise trilogy. 2010, present, career expansion. Tony Jaa, Center, at a press conference for Skin Trade in 2015. Jaa and Punnarithikrai co-directed Ong Bak 3. After leaving the monastery, Jaa accepted a deal with Sahamonkel Film Company. He filmed Tom Yum Goong 2, 2013, for them, with Chocolate star Jajayanan in a major role too, the first time Jaa has shared the big screen with another international martial arts star. Director Prakya Pinkayu and choreographer Punnarithikrai also returned for this film. 39. In 2013, Jaa teamed up with Dolph Lundgren in the Thai Western comedy A Man Will Rise, which remains unfinished, and in 2014 in Lundgren's pet project Skin Trade. 40. Jaa then co-starred in the blockbuster action film Furious 7, 2015, produced by and starring Vin Diesel and directed by James Wan. 41. Jaa also teamed up with fellow actors Louis Koo and Wu Jing in Hong Kong Chinese action film SPL 2, A Time for Consequences, 2015. Jaa was briefly attached to the remake of Kickboxer, Vengeance. 42. However, in November 2014, it was announced that he had exited the project. 43. Jaa's most recent project was co-starring with Diesel again in XXX, Return of Xander Cage, directed by DJ Caruso and released in January 2017. 44. In October 2016, Jaa co-starred with Koo again in Paradox, the third installment of the SPL series. He was inducted into the Martial Arts History Museum Hall of Fame in 2017. 45. Personal life. Jaa married his longtime girlfriend Pyarit Chodawatananant on May 3, 2012. The couple have 2 daughters. 46. In February 2026, it was reported that Jaa had been diagnosed with stage 3 gallbladder cancer a couple of years prior. Megan Monique Good Majors II, born August 8, 1981, 3 is a Guinean-American actress and model. She first gained critical attention for her role in the film Eve's Bayou, 1997, prior to landing the role of Nina in the Nickelodeon sitcom Cousin Skeeter, 1998 to 2001. Good received further prominence after starring in the films Deliver Us from Eva, 2003, Roll Bounce, 2005, and Stomp the Yard, 2007. In 2012, Good featured in an ensemble cast of the film Think Like a Man. The following year, she played Joanna Locasto, the lead character on the NBC drama series Deception, and starred in the comedy Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. Good has also had supporting roles in the films One Missed Call, 2008, Saw V, 2008, The Unborn, 2009, and as the superhero version of Darla Dudley in the DCEU films Shazam, 2019, and Shazam! Fury of the Gods, 2023. She co-produced and starred in Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black, 2024, for Amazon Prime Video. Early life and family. Good was born on August 8, 1981 in the Panorama City neighborhood of Los Angeles. Her mother, Tyra Wardlow Doyle, worked as Good's manager into her teens, and her father, Leonidas Leon Good, is an LAPD police officer. 456 Good was raised in Canyon Country, now known as Santa Clarita, California. She has 3 siblings, including older sister and fellow actress Lamaya Good. 7 She began her acting career around the age of 4. 8. According to Good, she grew up super nerdy, super skinny, buck teeth, big ol' afro, and yet I had a sense of confidence about myself, like, they just don't get it yet. 9 She has stated that she did not have any role models until early adulthood, when she began admiring actress Charlize Theron. 10. Career. Childhood. In the early stages of her career, Good worked as an extra on television shows such as Doogie Howser, MD, and Amen. 8 When she was 13, Good was cast in her first film, the 1995 comedy Friday. 4 She first gained critical recognition for her performance as the troubled teen Cecily Batiste in Kasi Lemon's 1997 film Eve's Bayou. She received 2 award nominations, including her first NAACP Image Award nomination. Adulthood. From 1998 to 2001, Good appeared as Nina on Nickelodeon's TV show Cousin Skeeter. During this time, she landed small roles in the films 3 Strikes and House Party 4, Down to the Last Minute. Good also appeared in many music videos, by artists such as 50 Cent, 21 Questions, Imogen, Isis, of which Good's sister Lamaya Good was a member, Lil Jon, Memphis Bleek, Tyrese, and Will Smith. After taking on small film and television roles for the next few years, Good began to transition into more mature roles in the early 2000s. Good believes she was able to move into adult roles due to playing characters several years younger than her. 10. In 2003, a major year for Good, she landed roles in the action drama Biker Boys and the romantic comedy Deliver Us from Eva, which helped her transition from child to adult actress. She also appeared as the character Vanessa for 1 season of My Wife and Kids, before being replaced by another actress. 11 In 2004, Good starred alongside Jordana Brewster, Sarah Foster, and Jill Ritchie in the action film DEBS, and received a Best Actress nomination at the 2005 Black Movie Awards. She also had small roles in the teen dance film You Got Served, and Lance on Rivera's directorial debut, The Cookout. In 2005, Good co-starred in the horror film Venom, as well as the well-received neo-noir film Brick. She played opposite rapper/actor Bow Wow in Malcolm D. Lee's Roll Bounce. In 2006, Good played the role of Coco, which she felt was her first true lead actress role, in the urban action drama Waist Deep. 8 Good also voiced a character for the video game Scarface, The World Is Yours that same year. 12 The following year, Good landed a role in the dance movie Stomp the Yard, starring with Neo and childhood and personal friend Columbus Short. 4. In 2008, Good appeared in the horror film One Missed Call as an ill-fated college student, Shelley Baum. She appeared as an angry trophy wife in the Mike Myers comedy The Love Guru, and in the latter half of the year, she was one of the victims/game players in Saw V. She starred in 2009's The Unborn with Gary Oldman and Odette Yustman. Good in 2019. In 2010, Good started her own production company, Freedom Bridge Entertainment, with Marlon Oliveira and fellow actors Tamara Bass and Ty Hodges. 13-14 She was part of the ensemble cast in 2012's Think Like a Man, a movie based on Steve Harvey's 2009 book Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. In 2013, Good starred in Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. Good returned to television from January to March 2013, starring in Deception after being contacted by her agents about the series while leaving a hair salon. According to the actress, she sat in her car and cried for 30 minutes like a nerd, by myself. 15. Good wore a royal blue dress designed by Michael Costello to the June 30, 2013 BET Awards ceremony. The dress featured a plunging neckline down to her midriff and a front slit that rose to mid-thigh, her nipples very prominently protruded through the fabric. 16. It was sometimes compared to the green Versace dress worn by Jennifer Lopez to the 42nd Annual Grammy Awards in 2000. 17. Fashion and style editors selected Good as worst dressed at the ceremony. 18. The dress was controversial also because Good was presenting the BET Award for Best Gospel Artist. According to Christine Tomasos of the Christian Post, Good has a history of defending her stylistic choices of presenting herself as a sexy Christian. She had said earlier that year, "There is a classy way to do everything and there is nothing wrong with being sexy or having sex appeal, and I think that I am definitely going to be someone who is boldly going to go out to the masses and be someone who say, look, women, it's okay." 18, 19, 20. Good responded on Instagram, expressing sadness that judgment had been passed on her, her character and her then husband Devin Franklin over what she wore to the ceremony. She said she picked the dress because she liked it and tried to express her individuality in her dress. 1921. In 2014, Good reprised her role for Think Like a Man 2, the sequel to Think Like a Man. Good stated she had a really good time while filming the sequel in Las Vegas after initially being nervous because there's so much energy that only Vegas can give. 22. She later co-starred with Larenz Tate and Lance Gross in the 2017 Netflix film Deuces, and was star of 2019's The Intruder. She also appeared in the movies Monster Hunter, 2020, and Day Shift, 2022. In 2024, Good had a lead role in Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black. She and actor Taye Diggs then starred in and executive produced Terry McMillan Presents Forever, a Lifetime original movie. 23. Personal life. Although she was not raised in the church, Good is a Protestant, considers herself a spiritual person, and has said in numerous interviews that she declines roles that she feels might disappoint God. 24-25. She explained in an interview that Jesus tops her list of heroes, and the last book she read was the Bible. 4. In January 2017, Good took a government-sponsored trip to Israel, together with actors Mark Pellegrino, Daniel Day Kim, Sonequa Martin Green, and Kenrick Green, as part of an effort to combat the boycott, divestment, and sanctions, BDS, movement. 26. At age 22, Good chose to focus on her career rather than dating, as she explained in a 2004 interview. 10. In 2011, Good began dating Devin Franklin, an executive for Columbia Pictures and a Seventh-day Adventist preacher. They became engaged in early April 2012, and were married on June 16, 2012, at Triunfo Creek Winery in Malibu, California. 27-28. The pair stated that they remained chaste in their relationship prior to their marriage. 17. In December 2021, it was announced Good and Franklin were divorcing after 9 years of marriage. 29. Their divorce was finalized in June 2022. 32. In May 2023, Good began dating actor Jonathan Majors. 31. 32. In November 2024, the two announced their engagement at Ebony Magazine's Power 100 event, where they first met in 2022. 33. The couple married in March 2025. 34. They acquired Guinean citizenship in 2026 after DNA testing traced their ancestry back to the country and visiting Guinea to participate in a private cultural and citizenship ceremony administered by the Ministry of Culture. Joshua Helman, born February 22, 1986, is an Australian actor. He portrayed Slit in the action film Mad Max, Fury Road, 2015, William Stryker in the superhero film X-Men, Days of Future Past, 2014, and its sequel X-Men, Apocalypse, 2016, and Skaber Scrotus in the action film Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, 2024. He has also appeared in several television series, as well as the films Jack Reacher, 2012, Monster Hunter, 2020, and 13 Lives, 2022. Career. Helman started acting when he got a recurring role on the Australian television show Home and Away in 2007, playing Denny Maitland. He then got a small role in a short film Aiden's View where he played the role of an intruder trying to break into the house of the protagonist. A few years later, he was cast as CPL Luchukla Jurgens in the American television show, The Pacific. He appeared in 6 episodes. He was then signed on by American talent agency The Gersh Agency. He made his major studio motion picture debut in 2012 when he was cast as Jeb Oliver in Jack Reacher. 1. He returned to Australia and was cast in Blinder, a film based on Australian rules football drama. 2. In 2011, Helman acted in the original production of Small Engine Repair at Theater in Los Angeles. 3. He also starred in its film adaptation released in 2021. He co-starred in the ensemble Marvel Comics film, X-Men, Days of Future Past, as William Stryker shown, through footage, to be the younger /1973 version of the Stryker played by Brian Cox in X2, 2003, ignoring the younger /1973/1979 version of Stryker played by Danny Huston in X-Men Origins, Wolverine, 2009. 4. He later played Slit, alongside two-time fellow X-Men actor Nicholas Hoult, in the Mad Max sequel Mad Max, Fury Road, 2015. 5. In 2016, he had a main role in Season 2 of the television series Wayward Pines, while in 2024, he played Skaber Scrotus, son of Immortan Joe, in the Mad Max prequel Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. On February 17, 2025, Helman was named in the Stan Australia series Watching You. 6. By January 2026, he was cast in the horror film Evil Dead Wrath from director Francis Gallupi. Jin Ouyang is an American-born Hong Kong rapper, songwriter, actor, and comedian. 123 Jin is notable for being the first Asian American solo rapper to be signed to a major record label in the United States. 4-5. Early life. Jin Ouyang was born on June 4, 1982, in Miami, Florida, to Hong Kong immigrants of Hakka descent. 6-7 He was raised in the general Miami area, where his parents owned a Chinese restaurant and Jin attended John F. Kennedy Middle School in North Miami Beach. Jin went on to attend North Miami Beach Senior High School, from which he graduated in 2000. After graduating, Jin decided to forego college and begin his rap career. 8 Shortly afterwards, his parents closed the restaurant and the family moved in 2001 to Queens, New York City. 9. Career. 2001 to 2006, 106 and Park and Rough Riders. While in New York, Jin participated in many rap battles with his peers. 9. Jin's big break came in 2002 when the bet program 106 and Park invited local rappers to compete in a segment known as Freestyle Friday. Unlike other competitors, Jin occasionally spoke Cantonese in his freestyle verses. After winning 7 battles in a row, he was inducted into the Freestyle Friday Hall of Fame. 10 The night of the ceremony, he announced that he had signed a deal with the Rough Riders Entertainment label. 11. His first single under Rough Riders was titled Learn Chinese featuring Haitian rapper Wyclef Jean. It contained a sample from song Blind Man Can See It, by James Brown, also sampled by Das EFX and Lord Finesse. The second single for the album was originally supposed to be I Gotta Love, featuring and produced by Kanye West. The album was originally scheduled to be released in the summer of 2003 but was delayed for over a year by the label. In October 2004, Jin released his debut album, The Rest Is History, which reached number 54 on the Billboard Top 200 Albums chart. 12 The two singles, Learn Chinese and Señorita, were not major mainstream successes and the album only sold 19,000 units in its first week. 7 Jin left the label in 2006. 12-13. On April 23, 2005, Jin and rapper Serious Jones engaged in a rap battle. The battle was featured on Fight Club DVD. 14. On May 18, 2005, Jin revealed that he would be putting his rap career on hold in order to explore other options. To make this clear, he recorded a song titled I Quit, produced by The Golden Child. The announcement was widely misunderstood to have marked the end of Jin's rap career. However, he later re-emerged under a different alias, The MC, and freestyled over such songs as Jay-Z's Dear Summer. He released a single called Top 5, Dead or Alive, in which he explored the history of hip-hop's greatest artists, using lyrics. The legendary DJ Kool Herc, who is credited as the founder of hip-hop, appears in Jin's music video. With independent label Crafty Plug/Draft Records, Jin released his second album, The MC's Propaganda, on October 25, 2005. Jin collaborated in 2005 with Queens-born rapper Creature on his song Never Say Die, which also featured Slug and Buzz Driver. 15. Jin was also featured on Taiwanese pop artist Lee Hum Wang's 2005 album Heroes of Earth. Together, Jin and Lee Hum performed their Heroes of the Earth collaboration live in Shanghai on February 16, 2006, at an event arranged by China resident American A&R exec Andrew Bolin. Bolin was also the first promoter to bring Jin to mainland China in 2003 for his The Rest Is History tour. 16. 2006 to 2007, independent label. Jin released 2 albums in 2006. The first, 100 Grand Jin, was a mixtape that was released on August 29, 2006. The single released from the album is FYI, for which the rapper shot and released a music video. The second album is Jin's third LP, I Promise. On his MySpace, Jin mentioned that he was working on another English album named Birthdays, Funerals, and Things in Between. Jin premiered the song, Open Letter to Obama, on April 24, 2007, which made him become first on then presidential nominee Barack Obama's top 8 list on MySpace. 17-18. On April 16, 2007, Jin made a tribute song to the victims of the Virginia Tech massacre called Rain, Rain Go Away. 19 later that year, Jin decided to make his November 2006 online album, I Promise, available in retail stores. It was given an October 23, 2007, release. 20. In 2006, the PlayStation 2/Xbox video game NBA Ballers, Phenom featured MC Jin as one of the rapper characters along with Trikes, Ludacris, and Hot Sauce. He released his first all-Cantonese language album, ABC, in 2007. 7. 2008 to 2011, success in Hong Kong and newfound Christian faith. In 2008, Universal Music Hong Kong flew Jin out to Hong Kong to promote the re-release of his Cantonese album ABC. In an interview, Jin commented, I think with various artists, Cantonese hip-hop was starting to become more and more widespread. 2. ABC debuted at number 1 and achieved gold status in Hong Kong. He frequently starred in commercials there and made numerous appearances on TVB like Big Boys Club. He is also seen as an important part of recent Asian hip-hop trends 21 and was once deemed the changing face of Cantopop. 2. Jin did a collaboration with Malaysian rapper Point Blanc in a track titled One Day, 2008. 22-23. He also put the song Welcome to the Light Club on his MySpace page. 24. Jin is a Christian, stating in his song Welcome to the Light Club he was baptized in 2008. 25. He has featured in Far East Movement's Millionaire. He has done a track over a DJ Premier produced joint titled World Premiere. He also collaborated with producer Trendsetter, aka Mark Holiday. 26. He has recently thrown out a hip-hop census in honor of the 2010 census and Chinese New Year, 2010. As said by Jin, this mixtape is open to anybody and will be mixed from the general population along with Jin. He released a mixtape entitled Say Something, on May 15, 2010. Jin released an album with his friend Hanjin 10 in 2010. On July 10, 2010, Jin collaborated with singer Hanjin 10, to release another Cantonese album, Buy One Get One Free. 27. Jin also released a music video for his English single Angels. During his time in Hong Kong, Jin has appeared in films such as Gallants and Bruce Lee, My Brother. 7. In December 2010, Jin released a Christmas music video entitled Rap Now, 2010 with Hong Kong Chief Executive, Donald Tsang. The video, with lyrics penned by Jin, featured a number of lines ending with Act Now, echoing a Hong Kong government slogan. It garnered in excess of 9 million views on the CE Office's YouTube channel. 28-29. A CNN report described the video as an official eyesore and a political message thinly veiled as a Christmas card, and further criticized Jin's rapping as resembling awkward nursery rhymes, in contrast to his earlier performances. 29. However, local newspaper The Standard, in response to critics, stated in an editorial that Tsang, like the millions who post videos of themselves or their loved ones, only wants to have fun. 30. On March 7, 2011, Jin released a music video for a song from his upcoming English album entitled Charlie Sheen, collaborating with artists Dumbfounded and Traffic. Jin released an EP titled Sincerely Yours, a Christian-oriented and self-improvement-oriented EP featuring positive messages about life and self-reflective insights into his own life. After the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, Jin participated in the artist's 311 Love Beyond Borders celebrity charity concert on April 1, 2011, to help raise funds for Japan's disaster recovery effort. 31. The 3-hour event raised over $26 million, USD $3.3 million. 32. On May 16, 2011, Jin released the track AIYA featuring label mate, Tosta. On August 8, 2011, Jin released his second Cantonese album, Homecoming, in Hong Kong. 7. 2012 to 2017, returned to the United States. In 2012, Jin announced that he was moving back to the United States to raise his son with his wife in New York. 12. In February 2012, Jin released a revamped version of his EP, Sincerely Yours 2.0, featuring some of the same lyrics, but many others changed, slightly altering the overall feel of the record. In August 2012, Jin released his English album, Crazy Love Ridiculous Faith, for free download, an album in which he positively addresses both Christians and non-Christians. In December 2012, Jin released the brand new Me EP. In late 2013, Jin collaborated with independent label, The Great Company. The first track released on the label was called Hypocrite, The Gold Chapter. On December 21, 2013, Jin released the first EP under the label called Hypocrite. Citation needed. On October 21, 2014, the label released Jin's first album under their label, 14 Licks, which is 1459 in Roman numerals and a reference to the concept of 15 minutes of fame. 1233 The album features Tisa, Hollis, Stacey Ballman, Tim Be Told, Bear, and Storm. Citation needed. The album was not a commercial success. 34. Jin began performing stand-up comedy in New York City in 2015. 34. 2017, present, success in mainland China. In 2017, he competed in the Chinese rap competition show, The Rap of China, in a masked attire, under the alias of Hip Hop Man. 35. Jin has since released several songs in Mandarin, including Zero, a promotional song for the 2017 movie The Foreigner starring Hong Kong actor Jackie Chan, who considers Jin to be his friend. 36-37. In 2021, he joined the cast of Call Me By Fire as a contestant. 38. He was eliminated in episode 5, only to return later in episode 6, following fellow contestant Henry Huozun's withdrawal from the show in light of recent controversies. Citation needed. Personal life. Jin married his wife Carol on February 12, 2011, in Puerto Rico. The couple met at a concert at where Jin was performing. 39. They have two sons, Chance, born 2012, 2 and Justice, born 2019. 40. Jin became a born-again Christian in 2008. 41. He was converted by Chinese-American pastor Jason Ma. 7. He has since released several gospel-themed projects expressing his faith. 41. During the 2008 United States presidential election, Jin expressed his support for Barack Obama. Proceeds from his song Open Letter to Obama were donated to Obama's campaign. 18. In 2019, he announced on Twitter that he was officially endorsing presidential candidate Andrew Yang in the 2020 Democratic Party presidential primaries. He has released 2 songs supporting Yang, Drew Yang Gang, That's Who I Hooked Up With, and hashtag 8 Mile Yang. 42. Jin also toured with Andrew Yang's campaign events. Citation needed. In April 2021, he released Yang for New York, a song and video in support of Andrew Yang's run for mayor of New York City. The 3-minute video features such lyrics as everyone white, brown, yellow, and black / it's time to come together. What's ironic is that / New York forward will bring New York back. 43. Catchphrases and fan culture. Jin's catchphrase is Aya. 2. A Chinese interjection roughly equivalent to oh my gosh. Citation needed. Fans pictured with the logo were able to appear in the music video for his song Aya, featuring Tosta. 44. Jin also refers to his fans as his AIY fam bam. Citation needed. After his success and popularity on The Rap of China, Jin gained widespread respect and popularity throughout China, and also with the Chinese people worldwide. A China fan base is secure with an official account on Weibo. 45. On August 12, 2017, Jin then officially named his Chinese fans 46, Team Buletinchue, a name which he came up with due to the focus on looks-oriented artists. Buletinchue means not handsome in Mandarin, and Jin joked with his fans that although he is not handsome as compared to many artists, he is proud to be so as he is secure in himself as an unhandsome. The official slogan for Team Buletinchue is, which means to live joyfully and become more and more unhandsome. A series of official Team Buletinchue merchandise such as tees, hoodies, windbreakers, and caps donning the slogan and team name, designed by Jin, is also available on Douyin. 47. Jin also released the song 48 with an official music video made by him and Team Buletinchue. The song talks about the special relationship between Jin and his beloved Team Buletinchue, promoting the slogan. The fan-based Team Buladinchue has an official account on Weibo 49 with over 55,000 followers. Jin actively interacts with its members online, and is known to sometimes arrange to meet them in different cities for movies and coffees offline. Citation needed. Members of Jin's fan club on Twitter are known as Emojins. 50 He referenced them in his 2018 song debut, Shout Out to the Emojins, and the Emojins only. Monster Hunter is a 2020 monster film written, directed, and produced by Paul W. S. Anderson, based on the video game series of the same name by Capcom. The film stars Milla Jovovich in her sixth outing together with Anderson, her husband. The other cast members include Tony Jaa, T.I., Megan Good, Diego Boneta, Josh Hellman, MC Jin, and Ron Perlman. The film follows Artemis, Jovovich, and her loyal soldiers when they are transported to a new world, where they engage in a battle for survival against enormous monsters with incredible powers. A film adaptation based on the series had been in conception since 2012 by director Paul W. S. Anderson. The film was formally announced by Capcom in October 2018, with production starting that month with Constantine Film. Principal photography on the film began on October 5, 2018 and was completed on December 19, 2018, in Cape Town, South Africa. Monster Hunter was released to theaters during the COVID-19 pandemic, by Sony Pictures releasing, excluding Germany, China, and Japan, opening in China on December 4, 2020, and in the United States on December 18, 2020. The film was a box office bomb, having only grossed $47.9 million worldwide against a production budget of $60 million and received mixed reviews, with praise for its action sequences, visual effects, and musical score, but criticism for its direction and editing. 5. It received a nomination at the 19th Visual Effects Society Awards, in the category Outstanding Effects Simulations in a Photoreal Feature. Plot. It is entirely possible that behind the perception of our senses, new worlds are hidden of which we are totally unaware. Opening caption. In the new world, humans struggle to survive against a wide variety of large and savage monsters. The hunter, a warrior trained to kill these powerful creatures, is separated from the Admiral's crew when their ship is attacked by the Diablos, a massive horned monster that moves beneath the sands. In the old world, Earth, U.S. Army Ranger Captain Natalie Artemis and her United Nations security team search for a missing squad of soldiers in the desert. A sudden storm pulls them through a dimensional portal to the new world where they find the charred remains of the missing soldiers and their vehicles.